Hello guys, it is that panda guy. I'm here again with another video, and someone had asked me today in Doomsday about I guess a gathering slash resource management guide thing, and he had basically just asked like how to I guess be more efficient in getting resources and all that. And it's not really easy. I mean, you can't just flick your fingers and expect resources to come flying out of your pocket, right? And I'll just go over pretty simple stuff, pretty self-explanatory stuff, and say stuff maybe you haven't thought about. So first off is obviously focusing on gathering heroes themselves, and maybe using specific gathering heroes to gather certain resources, because I know there are skills that may specifically apply towards some stuff and just things like that. So maybe just consider which gathering heroes you're sending out when you're sending them towards a certain node if you're trying to be as efficient and fast as possible. There is also the option of making alternate accounts. Also, a lot of people call them farms, where you just have a farm account, basically gathering resources constantly. And I also want to say, when you're done farming these resources that you want to see in your main, do not burn your alts, because these accounts, if you guys don't know, when you're burning an account, the amount of resources you're getting is taxed as well, and the tax is worse than if you just send it through transportations. So honestly, try transporting the resources. Just it's way more efficient, and just it's stupid to do it otherwise. You're also gonna have to build these farms up considerably, not like crazy, but still enough to where it's doing a decent amount of just gathering, maybe like HQ 21 or whatever, just so you have your fifth march at least, and have some, probably push specifically troop training, or sorry, siege troops, so you can gather just as fast as possible. There's also the fact that, let's say you have a bunch of spare wood or food and you really need something else for research. You could always offer your members some of those resources, maybe one for one, maybe, a better trade off deal for them. But you could always offer some other resources and be like, hey, I have this. Will anybody will be willing to trade with me? And if you really need that, I mean, it's always good to just have that and be able to trade with people. And I also want to mention, obviously bags. If you guys don't know, farming a lot of zombies will give you a lot of 1K resource tokens in your bags. It's not the most efficient way, especially if you don't have a ton of stamina, but I mean, it does stack up. So you could always try farming zombies and just having your resources stack up quite a bit. Also, just being in a big alliance that gives a lot of resources out to its members when you're asking can go far away. I also want to mention that if you're in a big alliance that has a lot of territory, you're going to be getting a lot of territory resources, and these stack up pretty fast, especially if you have a lot of territory. Because after a day, I can get like a million food, a million wood, so and so steel, so and so oil, and that's a pretty good amount for the how much gathering you do, or just doing nothing, and it adds up a lot over time. So I mean, just being in a good alliance can go far away. Also, getting a ton of gifts, like, so I don't know. I mean, it's not easy to just get a ton of resources. You can always try raiding bases, dead ones around the side of the map, because a lot of people ignore those bases, but when you really look at them, a lot of them will have like a chunk of resources. And if you just go around collecting those resources and just scouting nearby bases, you're going to get a lot of loot, as long as you're the first person reaching those. So I mean, you have to be the first clearing those bases out. It's what a lot of people do early game, so you might not find a lot, but I mean, it's always worth a try, and it's always worth raiding small little bases around the map that are dying. So I mean, this is my guide, this is my little explanation. I mean, there's, like I said, there's not really a lot of shortcuts, and you can't really do much. So I hope this helps anybody, helps somebody, and you guys have a good day. Peace out.